Hi guys, my name is Tarastrology and I will be doing your May 2020 reading. This reading will be for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm a little agitated right now, which is funny, and I feel like there has to be a reason for it. So I had just recorded your entire video for May 2020 without realizing that I had never taken my microphone off of mute. So I'm not going to reshuffle and re-pull the cards, but I will say that is why today we are starting with the cards pulled. This might actually be better because now you don't have to fast forward through the beginning section where I just talk and shuffle. So, you know what, maybe this is it. Maybe you guys are really in a rush for something, which would make sense given your reading. So, let's just dive in now. We start off here with the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is all about having a lot of anxiety. This anxiety is kind of made up in your head to make everything a lot worse. I'm not saying that there might not be real things to worry about at this time, however, I do feel that you are spending a little bit too much time in that worry, and you might be making things worse. You're gonna kind of, like, the Nine of Swords is all about, like, there's monsters under my bed, oh my god, there's someone in my closet, like, someone's gonna break in. It's the things that are, like, the 1 in a million person, like, chance things that you're just like, nope, that's gonna happen. I'm here to tell you that it's not, it's in your head. Now, I see that with the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is in relation to the give and take of something. So you can only give as much as you have, right? And somebody will only take as much as you're willing to give. But sometimes it kind of feels as if you're kind of giving, and you're not really getting as much back. It sometimes feels almost like a community service of sorts, in the way where, like, you're doing it, like, for that person and kind of for yourself in a way, but sometimes if you don't see anything back, it just feels like, why am I doing this, you know? Like, if you don't get any appreciation for doing community service, then, like, from anybody else, are you going to want to continue that? It's kind of like that. And for some of you, this could be really related to that. I didn't even say that exact example when I first read this. That just kind of came out. But, you know, maybe that will speak to somebody. But I think for a lot of you, it's going to be in relation to another person. You might be feeling like you are doing everything you can. You're trying to communicate with somebody. You're reaching out. You're sending gifts. You're kind of just doing everything that you can for the other person, and you're really anxious because, like, you're not seeing as much back. And maybe they're not good with their words. Maybe they're not really able to express to you how much they really care and how much this really matters to them. So I will say, another thing that this could be, since this is a general reading and this will apply to different people, for May 2020, this could also be in relation to an investment. And it makes sense because, you know, Pentacles are in relation to time, resources, like the things that you put into something, right? So this could also be your money. So you could be putting your investments into, like, a stock that you're not necessarily seeing the payback from it right away, and that might be giving you anxiety that you might lose it. I can also say that this is the same thing. It's still an investment if it has to relate to a relationship, because it's time that you're putting into someone. And with the Sun in reverse, I guess I should show you these cards, right? So, the Nine of Swords is the first card. Six of Pentacles. And the Sun in reverse. So with the Sun in reverse, I feel like you're feeling really dissatisfied. You know, the Sun is a very happy card, but you're not feeling that happiness right now. And the reason that you're not feeling that is because you're dissatisfied with not getting what you want out of it. Leos they really pay attention to the physical. So if they do not see if they do not hear about like what they're doing right, they just kind of feel like they're not. And they kind of just feel like they're wasting their time. And I feel like that's what the beginning of the month is kind of going to bring to you. Now, as we move further into the month, we have the Strength card, the Three of Cups, and the Magician. So, with the Strength card, I always read this as, this is your true heart desire. This is the things that really fill you up, the things that really make you want to, like, fight, you know, you really want to fight for something. It's something that you really, truly believe in. So, I feel like you really, truly want to believe in this relationship, but, you know, you're just kind of not seeing it. And with the Strength card, you could also be, and with the Sun card before, you could be dealing with another Leo. This is also your card, so this could just be really representing that, like you're fully in that like Leo mode, is like, I really, really love, and I want to believe in this. And with the Three of Cups, this could also be that you're really trying to fight for somebody who's either in another relationship, still kind of talking to somebody else. The Three of Cups doesn't always have to mean a third-party situation, but when I first read this, I was like, there's some third parties out there. So I feel like you're really fighting for someone who, you know, maybe they're just like not fully leaving a situation that they said that they were done with, or you just feel like there's still like somewhere else in a way. With the Magician card, I feel like you're gonna start to kind of be more open with how you feel. And I think when you do that and you're like fully coming into yourself and your power and being like, this is what I want, and you know, if I don't get it, like I'm out of here kind of a thing, you're going to start to manifest that energy into your life. And by manifest that into your life with the Magician, I mean like you're going to really start to see things happen for you, the things that you've been waiting for. The next cards that are coming up, I have the Fool, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Swords. So I feel like you're starting to manifest some changes, and you might actually start to get things back, you know, second, third week into April, into May, we're going to start to see a change, because I think you're going to really fight for what you want and be more open with it. I think when you do that, you're going to take that leap of faith and just say, like, what needs to be said, especially with this Two of Swords. It's like your head and your heart, they kind of want the same thing. You think you're speaking to two different truths, but it's really like one universal truth. There's like a conversation that needs to be had too. So I think that this Fool with the Two of Swords is speaking about, you know, you think something's going to happen, like that's going to be different than the outcome. And that way, I mean, like, you think you're going to have a conversation or talk about, like, some worries about something, and that you're going to get a different outcome, or you're not going to really get what you're hoping for. But I really think that there is, like, one truth underneath it all. So I think when you take this leap of faith, you'll realize that it's kind of pointing to the same thing. You guys might want the same thing. If this is in relation to money, like the investment, like I was saying, I think you're gonna feel like, oh, I'm gonna put this in, and like maybe the other person that you're investing with, you just feel like you're not kind of thinking about the same things or the same like outcomes, and you feel like they might not have your best interest, and that could cause you to be internally conflicted with the Five of Swords, because this is about something that needs to change. So with this, I feel like it's a change in perspective. I think you need to step back a little bit. I think you might need to detach from the situation because you're too close to see all parts of the picture. I think when you kind of step back and kind of get more into that introspective state, especially because we're going into Venus retrograde and Pluto retrograde, that is going to be a lot of changes within yourself, within things that were like past traumas, within relationships that don't work. things that really need to be said. I feel like you're just conflicted about a lot of it, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to, that they're not all related and that you guys aren't all on the same page. You're just conflicted about having that conversation, but you still are advised with the Fool card to fully jump in and just take a leap of faith, because it will still land you in a positive position. And though you are internally conflicted, the card that came out, and I wish there was sound on the first one, because when I pulled this I was just like smirking so hard, and I know you guys would have been like, yes! But the Lover's card. So for many of you, as I said, this was a general reading, so this could be related to like investments of some sort. But I feel like for so many of you, and I think last month we were kind of talking about relationships too. You know, we were talking about possibly two people, actually. So I feel like with this one, it's like you really realize who your soulmate is. And you could even be dealing with a mirror in a way, especially if we see them on opposite ends here. This could be your twin flame. So I think you really realize kind of who they are, and they realize who you are, and you will have a new opportunity with them with the Ace of Pentacles. If this is related to an investment of sort, you might have to have a hard choice, because you might feel like they're opposite. And what I mean by having like an opposite position in the choice is like you're investing money into something that you don't really know it's going to take off. So that might be a hard choice for you to make, but what I see with this Ace of Pentacles is if it is for that, and it's not a relationship, you're still going to have new opportunities come from it, and the ability to just kind of manifest a lot of money. This is kind of like the universe gives you a blank check. I think of like in The Secret, they tell you to write a check for like you know, an amount of money and like put it under your like bed or like above your bed or something, somewhere where you'll see it all the time. And that's like something, the money that you're going to draw in from either, you know, writing a book, for instance, or something that you were really dreaming of doing. And usually what's funny enough is like someone wrote like $1 million, and then their first book, they like got $1 million from it or something, or like 1 million sales. That's kind of like what this is. This is like the law of attraction. You're like attracting exactly what it is you want. This new opportunity, something that you really like could really help you. And if it's with this person, then it's, you know, you're really manifesting a relationship that is very hard. It's a very difficult journey, but it is exactly what you want, because it's teaching you a lot about yourself. And with this Four of Pentacles, I feel like when you really take this leap of faith and you're more honest about everything, I don't feel like they're going to want to let you go. I think you're going to kind of hold on to that. And I feel like if this is in relation to money, the money that you will get back from this investment, you're going to want to hold on to as well. But for most of you, I think a lot of you, because I just feel it so strongly, in relation to another person, I don't feel like they're going to want to let you go, and you're not going to want to let go of the situation either. And I also wish that the recording from last one was here, because when I pulled this over to see the bottom of the deck, I was like, ah! But here I am. So the Tower card is in relation to like a major shift in perspective. Like it's like that aha moment. And it kind of feels like everything is crashing down, because like what you thought you knew, or like what you really thought was going to happen, kind of is wrong. But that's not necessarily always like a catastrophe. It just could be that it's a lot of chaotic energy, and it's a lot for you to really fully believe in and fully be like, oh, okay, like this is what I gotta do. This is what I have to say to this person. This is the leap of faith that I really have to do, that I really have to take. You know, you could have a lot of changes that are just kind of happening with it. And I feel like this is all like divinely planned. So you kind of felt like some things were happening around you. But this, with the numerology for this card, I feel like this is in God's plan, the universe's plan. You know, someone higher than yourself has orchestrated this at an earlier time. So I don't think this is going to be a bad month at all. I think it's actually going to be really good at the end of the month. I just think it's going to take a little hard work to get there. But you can do that because you're strong. You are the lion. And don't forget that. That is the most wonderful thing about you, is you have that bite. You have the strength. So, with that, since this is a general reading, for those of you who want to contact me for a private reading, I did leave my information in the description box. If not, of course, that is fine. I will see you guys next month, and I hope you have a lovely May. Didn't say that loud. Bye, guys.